part of creating a country in Minecraft. So if you haven't seen the first part, go watch that because a lot will be explained. Now finished Javerton. So some new buildings. So there's my house, the bank. Those all there before, but some of the newer buildings would be this football stadium, which is actually called Aper Stadium, which is where the football team that I've created will play, called Turben Football Club. So yeah, and by the way, the dog is supposed to be the football, just so you know. So yeah, something with Javerton I want to just address sort of is quite crowded. If you just look at this football stadium, it's right next to the bank and this house. Yeah, I just find that funny. Here's the hotel, which I built, which this shouldn't be like that. But some of these are, like, there's decorations in there which other people have done. This is because there's been people who have booked into the hotel. A school I made called the Lert Academy. I'm pretty sure that you would know by now that Lert is this. Well, it's this hill, because Lert means tree hill. There's a lot of trees on this house. House is a hill. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, there's a school here with a small football stadium and a dogless football. And like athletics thing, this sign is for long jump, this is just for sprinting. And yeah, and then on top of Lert is this building, which is actually the council building, where the president would like be here and discuss with their cabinet. Where on the first floor there's like the secretaries and stuff and head of whatever. You know, it's best if you like search up, like, I don't know, just search up maybe if you don't get what like a cabinet is. In my briefly examine, I don't know how to speak right now. Like in my explanation, it's sort of like the members of the government, so like who the president would elect to help them with different subjects. Like there's head of defense, which would be military, head of economy, which is pretty self-explanatory. Yes, that's that. And then here will be where the governors of the district and provinces will meet, and the president. But what are these provinces? If you remember from last time, they were only the districts. How are their provinces? Well, there's two provinces, Amprolo, which this is the flag we created in Minecraft, and Earlville. And I can just take you there quickly. Why these exist is my friend Joe was on this world, and I just need to go to sleep quick. Basically, my friend Joe made a district, which I'll just go to in a bit. So he made that, and so yeah, he made a district self-explanatory called Amprolo, and he also designed that flag, which, to put in more detail, because making in Minecraft isn't that accurate, it's a red field with a diagonal white bar going from the top right corner to the bottom left corner, and then in the in the bottom right-ish area, there's a I don't know how many points. I'm just gonna say 8, an 8-pointed star, something like that. Anyway, here's Amprolo. It's in a maze biome. So yeah, back to the flag, and then in the Then in the top left corner is the canton, which is that's called the thing in the top left corner. For example, in real life, Australia has the Union Jack on the canton, and the United States has the blue canton with 50 stars for the 50 states. So Amprolo has it, but it has the flag of the Lurtian Overseas Territories, which is just any land that belongs to Lurtia, which is, well, not that close to the mainland. So Amprolo does fall under this, and yes, it's overseas might not be the best one because you don't have to cross a sea to get it, but you know, it's for simplicity. Amprolo's pretty cool. He's also made the city here. So the city is called Gorlin, which is right here. Pretty much dominates all of Amprolo. And then, so this, like the mainland, it's sort of split into two parts. So there's this part which is the farming district, and this part which is called Victoria, and there's this river which is the Amprolo River, which I named, which separates them, but there's this bridge connecting them, which I didn't work that hard on, but it's just there, you have to deal with it. And on Victoria, right here is actually the highest point in Lurtia, Mount Victoria. So yeah, there's for Amprolo, and the second one, Earlville, where I'm just thinking I need to explain how Amprolo became a province instead of a district. So it was a district, but it became a province, and Joe wanted it to sort of be a country, but not. So, well, it's definitely not a country. It's definitely fully sovereign as part of Lurtia. This is Earlville, by the way. We'll get on to Earlville in a bit. But back to Amprolo. Like, sort of, Joe wanted it to be a little more independent in a way, because a province is like basically a subdivision, but it can have its own government, but obviously ruled by the Lurtian government. So yeah, that's that. Also, Joe might make it a country in the future, which will mean we have to change our highest point. But let us go with the facts right now that it's part of Lurtia. And back to Earlville, which is the second province. Basically, it sounded kind of weird just to say districts and province when addressing the subdivisions of Lurtia, so we made another province, also so Amprolo wouldn't be lonely. So yeah, this province is Earlville. And it's literally just a village that already exists. Like, it existed before Lurtia came here. But yeah, so I didn't really have to do any building. But yeah, it's part of Lurtia, and actually, the capital, which is pretty much the entire province, is Manton, which is all of this. Anyway, back to Javiton and the council building. And by the way, this is Gilead, so this is an exclave, but it's not too far away, like just a small piece of land. Back to Javiton. So, and the council building. So here we go. So here we are. So the president will sit here, which I'm hoping we'll do an election soon. But yeah, So this is where the president will sit with a Lurtian flag, because they'll be in charge of Lurtia. And then this is where the vice president will sit, and this flag behind them is the flag of the district of Latacap. And yes, the districts and provinces do have flags. It makes it simpler here. So, for example, this is Kelia. The governor of Kelia will see this flag and know that they will sit here. But yeah, why? So the vice president has the flag of Latacap behind them is because the vice president will be the governor of Latacap. So then there'll be governor of Amprolo, Ervia, Julia, Kelia, Plus, which actually this doesn't explain it as well. Well, it doesn't explain it well. What the actual flag of Pros looks like, because they actually use a Nordic cross. If you don't know what that is, it's the cross found on the flags of Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Iceland, and also some other things like the Faroe Islands, but they're not countries really. Not nations, so let's not focus on them. Anyway, so Stut, Swatland, Namville, and Earlville. And then if we go up, this is where the mayors of these cities will sit. So president, vice president, and then mayor of Javiton, which won't actually be the president or vice president. It would be another person. The mayor of Urtex, which will probably just be the governor of Julia. So, like, for simplicity, the governor of a district will be the mayor of the capital of that district or province. So Urtex, mayor of Gorlin, and mayor of Manton, which is spelled like this, by the way, and Gorlin is spelled like that, with 2 eyes. So that's the council building done. Just go down quick. That's what it looks like from the outside. Also, it was meant to be on top of this hill, and also it will pretty much be a crime to commit deforestation on this, because without the trees, Lurtia isn't Lurtia, because part of the name of Lurtia is tree, so tree hill for Lurt. Yeah, anyway, there's this. This isn't in Javiton, but I want to talk about it. This is in Swatland, but it is the Lurt Sporting Competitions Arena. Now you might ask, what is the Lurt Sporting Competitions? Well, it's sort of like the Olympics in Lurtia. So every 2 years, the districts, not the provinces, but the districts will compete in sporting events. There'll be 3 of them. So there'll be football and basketball, my 2 favourite sports, which won't be held here. We'll get onto those. But then there's athletics, which will be in here. So there are like 3 parts of the athletics. The first one is running, where one person from each district will line up here and run. Pretend these aren't here because they're for another thing. So they'll run until the green line. And then the next round, long jump, they basically just run in, well, this is one person at a time, so they'll just run wherever. Turn the bars on there. And then when they get to the green line, they jump into the sandpit. And then hurdles is basically the running, except there's hurdles, well, there's iron bars here which you have to jump over, which are here now. Yeah. So to the football and basketball ones, so they pretty much act as the same. So so one district will play the other, and then so for example, let's just say Erfia will play Gilia, and then let's just say Gilia wins, then Kelia plays Latacap, then Kelia wins, then Pros versus Stut, Pros wins, Swatland versus Tamville, Swatland wins, this might not happen in the next thing. Let's just say this is gonna happen for simplicity. Then it will be Julia versus Kelia, let's say Kelia wins, and then Pross versus Swakland, let's say Swakland wins, and then the final, let's just say Kelia wins for that, and that will basically be both the football and the basketball, and I just need to go to sleep quickly. So, yeah, but those aren't the only sporting events. There's also the LFL, Lertian Football League, and LBAC, Lertian Basketball annual competitions. So the Lertian Football League, so the teams around the country, so basically every team will play every other team in some order, but they'll play two games against each team, one at their home stadium and one away. So, and then like whoever wins the most games wins the overall. If it's a draw, they'll have a match somewhere. I don't know, I haven't thought all of it out. But here, so the LBAC, this is basketball court. It sort of works like the LFL, the first part. So the first part is basically just like the LFL, but after that, but no one wins there. There will be judges after that who decide which half will go through to the next round, and then the next round, which is the final round, will be like basketball in the sporting competitions. So like it'll be the example again, but there won't be the districts. It'll be individual teams. So yeah, that's that. And to this stadium, this is the stadium of the basketball team I made called Javerton Jaguars, and it's called Jaguar Park, and it's actually cool how I've made basketball in Minecraft. So basically, on these you run onto these and it launches you up, and then when you get to the hoppers you drop this block of orange wool, which is called basketball. And yeah, then it basically works like a normal basketball game. So yeah, there's that. And then this hospital I made, which is the border between Latacap and Poix, so it then goes down there, meaning Latacap gets more territory, where I built this hospital, right here. And then if we cross this bridge onto here, where, if you remember, I built this house, well, there's now a restaurant behind it, called Plant Haven. So yep, I really like this restaurant. So yeah, that's my commentary. But the last thing is the town centre, which isn't very big, but there are things about it which I'm talking about. So it's pretty like simple. This is a waterfall, but there's flags around it. There's two Lertian flags, and there's two flags of the district of Latacap, where Javerton is, and then the flag of Javerton, or the Javerton flag more precisely is the Latacap flag with a red star. Since there's no stars when making banners in Minecraft, I just use a circle. There and there. And there's that. That's Javerton. But to the storyline. So the last thing that happened in the storyline actually happened quite a while ago, thinking about it now. A lot happened which I've just waited to finish Javerton to tell you guys about. So this part of the video will just be explaining what's happened in the storyline so far. And so we take off with Gabe's house being blown up. So after that, I built Gabe a new house instead, because I felt kind of bad because his house was blown up. But I didn't really want to like put the others in jail because it's sort of like, so it's like this. It's weird. But so Gabe had obviously attempted to blow up Miles's house, and if you think, like, if just imagine you're Miles, you like have to wake up, and then you can go outside, and then you can just see over the river the house of someone who tried to make you homeless. You can see how that could affect someone, like, and maybe, and then blowing up Gabe's house might just feel like closure on it, so that you don't have to feel that way. And I was gonna put Gabe in house arrest. So yeah, that's why I didn't really do anything, because I sort of understood both sides of the story. But yeah, I made Gabe a house, but put him in house arrest because he did try to blow up Miles's house. It was only for 2 days. But here came the bad thing. Jack. Now, so Jack didn't really do anything in the world except for make his house. And then I also extended the board to put his house in Lurtia for a bit. But what Jack did is he actually blew up Gabe's house to help him escape, and then they escaped. And this is why Stutz has this in it. It's because when Jack blew up Gabe's house, the water flew into the crater. Flew in? Is that the correct word? It flowed in. I think I don't know what the correct word is, but it went into the crater, and it cut off these parts of this island, which is surf. So it cut them off. Sometimes I can't speak. It cut them off, making the islands of Calm, not spelled like calm, like not angry. It's spelled K-A-R-M, and Sap. So yeah, this is actually a very small island. It's only 6 meters squared in area. But yeah, small detail of that. But then I banished them, and then they tried to make a country quite far away. I'm not going to go because it's a long journey, and it's not what it doesn't look like what it used to. But they made a quote-unquote country called Lebeberg, but didn't really write a constitution. You sort of need a constitution to be a country, which, if you ever want to make a country, just remember that, because this is sort of something Gabe and Jack did wrong. But yeah, I was still kind of annoyed at them, but I thought like I could let it go for a bit until we could be friends, we could do trade. So yeah, we got along until Gabe and Jack snuck into Lurtia, and they decided that they were going to his new house. Now why it was his new house? Because before being banished, Gabe blew up Max's previous house. So it was here, it was underground base, which is now here's Jack's house. I'm fine with Jack with the word now. I don't think he likes Gabe anymore in the story. But back to that. So yeah, then Gabe blew up Max's house again. Where then after that I put Gabe and Jack in Visitor. Now I want this world to be realistic, because like it's supposed to be a civilization world, and a civilization growing, and it's supposed to sort of mimic real life. So how would putting them in Visitor be realistic? just pretend I put them in handcuffs and like they could not escape, so they couldn't do anything. But yeah, and sort of I wasn't happy about them with that. But then we got along again after maybe some arguing and stuff. But yeah, I decided to put them back into member, where Jack built his house here, and Gabe built his house here. Now I can see that they're no longer there. And if you remember Kiri's house, it's no longer there. That's there. This is filled in with water. Well, Gabe, after we were peaceful, there was nothing, no one really had anything against him anymore, decided to blow up Kiri's house. Yeah, and then we put him in, wait no, I got it wrong. I banished him, but he refused to be banished. So I put him in, well, Miles and Alex, mainly Miles and Alex, put him in a prison, which was there. I'll get onto that in a bit. So he was put in prison pretty much for life. So I was really annoyed with him at this point. The storyline is basically fine with Gabe, annoyed at Gabe, fine with Gabe, annoyed at him. But yeah, I was very annoyed at him because there was no reason for doing that, and Kiri really hasn't done anything except for blowing up his house, which we already discussed. It's a bit controversial. Yeah, it's night time, so I'm just gonna go to controversial. Don't want to get into that. I beat that guy to his bed, to his own bed. But anyway, back to this. Back to the storyline. So now something I don't. Well, I'm going to talk about it. So I understand Gabe's side in this. Like, so basically, like I was just on the world. Gabe was in prison, and so Gabe was saying things to sort of make himself look innocent, but not in a way like, not in a bad way. So he was sort of saying things why he shouldn't be in there, and like, this wasn't Gabe's fault or anything. Don't attack him. His channel link will be in the description. We're good mates. We have nothing really against each other, but sort of what he was saying was sort of getting to me, and I felt bad. And sort of in a way saying things like about me. Just, we're fine though. So he was sort of like saying things which got to me, and then I sort of let my guard down and accidentally broke a block which allowed him to escape. So then he escaped, and then I couldn't really take it anymore, so I just executed him. And yes, disclaimer, I don't like the death penalty. The only real reason why I did this is, let's face it, Lurtia isn't a very developed country, with a population standing at 66. Yes, 66. Yeah, I'm not joking. So a low population, the economy's not that big. No official president. Like, I was going by the unofficial president, because sort of had to be someone in charge, in a way, technically. So I sort of thought I couldn't really handle things good at that point, so I just decided to execute him. Yeah, and then the life system in this. this is what I want to talk about quickly, how lives work. So, when someone dies in this, that character that they were playing is dead forever. And the person being that character can come back as a different character. Now, when telling the storyline, I will address these characters as different people, but obviously the person acting them will be the same. So yeah, Gabe could play on the world again, and this was a bit weird. He decided his new character would be Gabe. Like, but why? Why would you even do that? So yeah. Then later he decided he was either gonna change it to, I think it was Gabe something, I can't remember, or Gabe Mendes. I have no idea why. Yeah, let's just address him as Gabe Mendes because it's a bit more original than Gabe. But yeah, he was chill. Didn't do anything. Until, this wasn't a bad thing, he decided he was going to try to make another nation, Acacia. So him and Jack went to a piece of land and set up the borders, and we're going to make it the land of Acacia, which would be the official name of the country. By the way, the official name of Flirtia is the Republic of Flirtia. I might not have, I don't know if I have mentioned that or not before, so if I haven't, yeah, that's the official name. So yeah, but then I saw some damage on the military base, which was where the prison was, which I'll get to why it's not there, because it was here. I'll get to that in a bit, but so there was damage to that, so because of Gabe's past, I thought that it might have been him, so I was going to confront him about it, but then Miles decided to just blow up Acacia, all of it. And Jack actually helped him, although he was creating this nation. See, I was annoyed at them. I told Gabe, he was annoyed too. He said he didn't really want anybody going into prison, that they could, like, he said that, like, we can just ignore it and try to move on, practically. And still being annoyed at Mars, I decided to agree, because I didn't really want to annoy Gabe, because what was going to be his nation was blown up. So yeah, but after that, like, he was chill. He wasn't doing anything until he blew up the military base, which is why this is like this. There's a hole in this mountain. So yeah, he decided to blow up the military base, which I was very annoyed, because with his past of blowing things up, I could not take it anymore. So I just put him in a bedrock box in the ocean, put him in visitor so he couldn't do anything, and I said that way too quickly, and then that's when another military base was built, which is still here today. This is the one here, which is in Swampland, and this is actually exclave of Swampland, which has no, there's no official, there is an official border. There's no marked border, and the grass is what's not. So this is a military base with a prison and a blimp and a helicopter. So yeah, then Gabe was sent in there, and then we made then we just, after a bit, we decided to let him out. We decided, I don't think Gabe really wants to be destructive. I think he just wants to play, but he goes by things in the wrong way. So we decided to let him out, and we're fine now. So yeah, we're all good on that, and that's what's happened in Storyline so far. And it's been quite stressful at times. Building Jefferson's been stressful. Stuff with Storyline stressful, but overall, I'm glad that I've been building this nation. I love it. I love Lurtia. I love Jefferson. But I think you guys should know a little more about Lurtia. That's why I'm going to make a geography video on Lurtia, and then the districts and provinces in alphabetical order. And the election. We need a president. So, the next thing that will happen will be the election. So, the video that will be after this will be the geography video, but then it will be to do with the election. And so, you're probably watching this if you're subscribed to me, you probably have watched the video about the lightning conflict and how I said I was gonna start to do that comic. Well, that's been stressing me out over the past few days, so I've decided to just take a break, and I said that would be coming next, but I think it's best for this to be out first. So just wanted to address that, and that's this video done. See you.